Hi, I'm Sam Hazledine. Welcome to the second video in Lessons from Board of Directors. As I said in the first video, success leaves clues and so does failure. The lessons I'm sharing with you are what I believe are some of the most powerful lessons I've taken out of Board of Directors from running this course with this committed group of business owners over the last year. Because what I've seen are the people who are consistently successful, or the people who pivot and become successful, do things in a similar way. Now, the first video I shared with you was that strategy is not the same as goal setting. And essentially, it came down to strategy is not about creating your BHAG or what it is you want. Strategy is about identifying a problem in the market, coming up with your governing approach to solve that problem, and then breaking it down into action steps so that you can execute and bring the strategy to life. But remember I said it came with a caveat, and here is the caveat. While the strategy must be about the market, it must also be about you. It must be about what you want, what you're good at, what you're passionate about. I'll give you an example. We had someone in a board, and she has a great business, and we're looking to grow it and grow it considerably. And so we built this strategy, and it was a really great strategy from my perspective if I'd been running the business. But what had happened, and we solved a problem in the market, we came up with a governing approach, we came up with action steps. She was excited about it too. She kind of got caught up with it. 3 months later, we came back and said, hang on, what's happened? There's been no progress here. And she just looked, I don't know what's the word, she just looked kind of torn up. And I was like, hang on, did we miss something? I don't think you're fully aligned with the strategy. She was like a weight had been lifted. She was like, thank goodness you've said that. You're absolutely right. I thought I wanted this. But actually we built a strategy to build a business that wasn't aligned with what she wanted personally. And here's the thing. If your strategy isn't aligned with your own personal wants and needs and aspirations, you won't go after it. You won't execute on it, and you won't be as successful as you could be. It's as simple as that. So the second lesson from board, the second lesson about creating success or being as successful as you can be or really thriving in your business is get personal alignment with the strategy. Now, that's all well and good, but how do you actually go about doing that? Well, there are 3 questions that I believe you want to ask at the same time as you're building strategy that will ensure that your strategy is aligned with yourself personally. When your strategy and you are aligned, anything's possible. Because you start playing at 100%. That's when you get up early and go to bed late and do whatever it takes to make it real, because you're excited about it, you're passionate about it. When there's a disconnect, when you've got a great strategy, but it's not aligned with what you want personally, there's some resistance, there's procrastination, there's putting things off. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever built a strategy in your business but just found you just don't quite get the momentum you need, and you're putting it off, and you're never making progress, your wheel's spinning, you finish your day and you're wondering what the heck you've done, and you finish your week and you wonder where the week went, got busy with all this stuff, didn't really get to work on the important stuff. Has that ever happened to you? If it has, then I would hallucinate that a big reason for that might be because you weren't aligned personally with the strategy. So there are 3 questions to ask to personally align when you're building the strategy. And those 3 questions are, what do I love? What am I good at? And what does the market need? When you build those questions into how you build your strategy, and it might be how you build the governing approach or the action steps, when you build those in, man, you'll get aligned. And I just saw this year, over this past year, that when people were aligned, they just went after things with so much congruence and so much power that they just made amazing things happen. Where people weren't aligned, they just seemed to resist, they put off, they procrastinated. I'll give you an example. We have one guy, really smart guy, runs a really great business, and we built this strategy that said, okay, his business was going well, he was making good money and it was growing, but there were some issues, and we needed to put in place the critical drivers of sales and implement, good management of the people so that, the business could actually utilize the business that I had coming in, maximize that, and profitably do more business. And it was a great plan, and he was like, yep, okay, cool. 3 months later, nothing had changed. So, all right, what's the problem? What's the problem here? And what we realized is the strategy was right, but it was missing one piece. And he came to that board worried about what we were going to talk about and didn't want to do any of this stuff, and because there was so much resistance because we missed one piece. That's the beauty of board. Business is a journey. You get to see things working and things not working and then course correct quickly. But what was the piece we were missing there? That he needed to hire a general manager to manage the people and to ensure compliance and accountability with those critical drivers. He hated that stuff. He absolutely hated it. And because the strategy was built with him stepping into that role, he didn't do anything about it. He resisted it. He procrastinated. He put things off. He got stressed out about it. We missed the one piece that said, what do you love? What are you good at? And what does the market need? We got what the market needed, but what we found is we didn't align with what he loved and what he was good at. He's the front guy. He's great at going and bringing the business and doing that sort of stuff and having the big conversations and being a real agitator, a change maker. That's what he's great at. He's not great at managing the people and managing the numbers that are the drivers of the business. So we adjusted that. He went away from the board just excited, pumped up about implementing the strategy, because now his strategy is, I'm going to hire a great general manager, and he's got a good strategy now to do that. We built that. We built all the critical drivers of that in, because we didn't want him to go out and do that in a haphazard way at all. We wanted that to be systematic, but because he could see what he was getting to, he could see the why behind that, he is going after it with a vengeance now, because he can see that this is going to solve not only a market problem, but it's going to solve his own problem. When you're thinking about strategy, what's the problem? Sometimes you got to think internally as well, not just externally. So the big lesson is you can build a great strategy, but unless you align with what you want personally, what you're great at, what you love doing, then you won't be fully congruent and you won't go after it 100%. Now, this may seem so obvious and sound ridiculously simple, but I saw it time and time again. And most people coming into the board, they didn't have that total alignment between business and personal. Now we build that in. In the very first board of the year, we get clear on what you want personally, what you want professionally from a business perspective, and we align the two. We build strategy that is fully aligned from the start. So you don't end up with these situations where you go, we've built a strategy, but I'm procrastinating because it's not quite aligned with what I want. It's really simple. So what I'd encourage you to do is just ask those 3 questions. Build your strategy, and at the same time ask, what do I love? What am I good at, and what does the market need? You align those 3 things, you get power, you get passion, you get to really make a difference and move your business forward. So I highly encourage you to do that, because when you do that, not only will you make progress in your business, and you will make a lot more progress in your business, but you'll also love what you're doing. You'll enjoy it because it's aligned with what you want personally, and that is an exciting place to be. That, I think, is one of the beauties of being an entrepreneur, of being a business owner, is that you get to write the rule book. You get to choose how you show up. You get to choose how you work. But so many business owners, they start feeling like that, and then that all just gets washed away. They get caught up with the doing, caught up with the day-to-day, caught up in the weeds, and they stop writing their own rule book. So the time to write your own rule book is, again, it's now. You write the rule book on how you execute on a strategy so that it gets you what you want, it gets your family what you want. And when you're doing that, the beautiful thing is you're going to get so much more for the market, because you're going to have such a more positive impact because you're aligned and you're congruent and you're absolutely working in a way that you enjoy. So remember to tailor your strategy not only to the output, not only what the market needs, but also the input, how you need to show up, how you need to resource up your team, how you need to do things differently, how you need to build a strategy that meets your needs as well as the market's needs. Remember, if you want to meet the market's needs, you have to meet your own, because otherwise you're not playing at 100%. So that's the second lesson, and it sounds really obvious, I'm sure, listening to it, but let me tell you, most business owners don't have that total alignment. They haven't taken the time to elevate their thinking, think about what they want, what the market needs, and build a strategy that aligns the two. When you do that, you give yourself a huge competitive advantage because you're playing at 100% and you're giving the market what it really needs. That in itself is a strategic advantage. But as with the first video, there's a caveat. There's always a caveat, isn't there? There's always something else that needs to happen. But this time there's only one more thing that needs to happen. And I'm going to share that in the next video. When you've got a strategy that the market, delivers what the market needs and delivers what you need, there's one other ingredient that makes all the difference. So I'm going to share that with you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot of value from it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video and sharing with you that third thing that I think will make a huge difference to how you operate as a business person, the results you get in your business, and the fulfillment you get. Thanks for watching.